Okay, the year 2025. Yeah, I guess the word that I can use to describe this year was failure. Failure because I didn't live to the expectation that I had for myself. I am still trapped in my parents' house. Not in the sense that they are not, you know, having me in a cage or whatever, but just me. For some reason, I cannot find my way out of this place. I can't find work. I mean, been struggling because I try to really find abroad and far. Not I try not to take easy position because I already did that in the past, and it provides me nothing but money. Um, and I understand, perhaps from your point of view, I could be lazy, because there is, you can have help from the government to find another job, and I really try to capitalize on that. I do not believe I tried. That's why I do not believe that having more work will change anything. I've worked way too much into cleaning positions, low tier jobs. Not to insult anyone, but the people I was working with, you see that you are not from the same world, I will say. And that's my fear, to be stuck in that sphere, to be stuck in that place, that country. Um and I think, the big sentence that comes to mind when I reflect on this year is that I'm not strong enough for my dreams. I can do things. I can go abroad. Earlier this year, I was for the first time. I achieved my dream. I was in Chicago, in the United States. I loved it, man. It was wonderful. Then I went to Canada, Quebec. It was beautiful too. But then, yeah, I had to go home, find a little job. Then I was called on my previous jobs, drone show, all that shit. Worked for 2 months, really intense work. Then, since then, I'm unemployed. I'm trying to find things abroad, and it's harsh, man. It's harsh because a year that started so strong as 2025, I was in between two travels. I was first I ended 2024 abroad in Asia, and now I was going in North America, my biggest dream, and I was really excited about it. But I started the January month. I was working to make some money back from my travel in Asia. Then I went and traveled abroad. But once I came home, man, months flew by. No one really answered my applications. Self-esteem, is going down as you are unemployed, and you start to question yourself. And here we are, late December. Um, that wasn't a happy year, I'll say. As I said to one of my friends, um, I, I I get that I'm isolating myself a lot lately, and she was wondering, if I would come to the friend group Christmas. And I denied, I couldn't bring myself to go there. I know it's pretty pathetic in a sense because everyone was here except for me, which is really hard to get everyone. But man, I couldn't bring myself to put, on that social mask and pretend that everything is okay. And if not, I don't want to crash out the event like, okay, my life is shit. That's not how it is, you know. And sorry, to get back to my point, I told her something along the line that I have a lot of doubts in my mind and a lot of anger in my hearts right now. And I think that's how our unemployment is feeling right now. 2025 was supposed to be the year where I had all figured out, where I would apply everything that I learned from the past 2 years, about working far from home in a very niche area, then going abroad, traveling. I had motion, and boom, then there is this un- sorry, unemployment, which really, yeah, it really broke my sense of esteem, I will say, yeah, because then there is, all those things: self-esteem, low self-esteem, self-rejection, self-hate, all those things. And although I reflected a lot on it this year and I understood myself better, I still struggle to battle it. It's not because you know your enemy that you will win, or that you will even come up with a plan to win. So it's nothing but a failure this year. Okay, so to conclude this video, what can you take out of this miserable year from me? Hopefully, if I can avoid you to live the same year, I will say first, find a way to take care of your self-esteem. Being unemployed really destroy yourself, your sense of worth, because society expects so much of us. You know, if you're not working, you're like lazy. No, man, I had boring position. I had cleaning position. I cleaned toilets when I was younger. I did that for years, you know, while I was studying. It didn't bring me anything more than money. And what do you do with money? Nothing. Time is more important. And I do not want to go back to working things that I hate. You know, I've done that for long enough that I know it doesn't bring me anything more than hunger. So, yeah, working on this sense of self esteem, working on preserving and improving. Yeah, I think that's it. Right? Preserving and improving your sense of self esteem in any way that matters to you. I will try to be more myself. It's really hard in my household. Ooh, that sounded weird. To be myself, I always wear a mask, no matter what. A mask, no matter what. I cannot really do things that I want. I cannot record, for example. I cannot be this part of myself that is dreamer. Call it however you want, being online. That's why I walk for like 25, 30 minutes to get there and isolate myself very far. So be yourself. And third, what else would I do differently? Oh yeah, do not isolate yourself. I already made the mistake once. I'm doing it over again. Uh, for me, it's, I mean, like everyone's, you know, it's a bit deeper than just isolation. But yeah, like try to keep your friendship alive, and if you don't have any, try to build new ones. It's not that hard, really. If you say to yourself it's hard, of course it'll be hard. But there is Discord, there is events, there is school if you're at school, there is work if you're at work, there is sports. There is plenty of ways, you know. Isolation is good, but not forever. It can be really hard to get out of it. So, protecting and improving your self esteem, being yourself, and socializing in any way, shape, or form. That's the three things that I will change. Hopefully, I will apply that in 2020 things, 2026. But I believe, you know, 2025 was a hard year, but I remember that so was 2023, and 2024 was amazing. So I hope that, you know, I can bounce back. And yeah, I mean, it's not even 2026, it's 2016, like everyone says. And honestly, I don't know why we have this nostalgia for this year, but that was also my best year on earth, you know, the year where I changed the most. So I'm really excited about this year, you know, although I'm still trapped here and cannot wait to get out. I'm excited to see what comes next. Um, yeah, that's it for me. That was very long. I'm freezing. I honestly I do not feel my feet anymore, which is a bit scary. So I'll have to walk back to my camera, and I hope everything was recorded. Or I shoot myself right here, right now. And now I have to walk back without cutting my feet. Anyways.